understood now. As we go, as we understand that when we sit in the meditation and when we control all our senses, the mind, and let it not move anywhere, just like how we protect the flame by putting a chimney around it, so that any influence of air does not disturb the stability of the flame. In a similar way, what we do is we put some barriers, and those barriers could be physical as well. That's why we keep our place clean, our senses not getting distracted. So we take care of certain things. We finish everything. We take shower make sure we are clean outside, we are clean inside, we are the place where we are seated is clean itself and comfortably seated, not eating too much, not fasting and then meditating upon fasting body that is fasting. So there are many things that Bhagavan has said. Stay moderate, sleep well, right? Don't sleep too much, don't undersleep as well. So take that into consideration and consider yourself as a pre-qualified person to sit in meditation. Now, once you are seated in meditation, Bhagavan is saying, what are the benefits of meditation? One of the things he mentioned is dukkha, which means the pain is reduced or completely avoided, right? How pain is avoided? Whenever we have, let's say, usually in household, when we cook something and let's say salt is little extra, what mothers do is they either put little more water or they may put some other ingredient that will overpower salt. For example, sour taste, right? Like a little bit more tamarind or maybe a little bit more rice powder, which is bland in taste, that will overcome the salt. So likewise, here we have to see what actually overpowers our inability to sit. What overpowers the kind of distractions we get, because that we cannot avoid. But what overpowers that? What overpowers that is called as joy. Joy. How do you get this joy? We don't buy it in the stores. How do we get the joy? Joy is just a definition where you don't have any understanding about what is happening around. That is ultimate joy. And to attain that state, you have to constantly meditate upon something so as to avoid the distractions. And we also had that little technique that we discussed. The very sense that is distracting you, instruct that sense to focus on Lord. Or the same sense, let it rejoice in the stories of the Lord, isn't it? So, for example, if my smell is going towards, sense of smell is going towards something beautiful that's being cooked in the kitchen, and so I'm getting distracted from meditation, we discussed that this very sense should, now you should talk to that sense. The mind should talk to that sense and say, hey, I know you are getting distracted. It's a beautiful, maybe some sweet getting cooked in the kitchen, which is very great. I know you enjoy that. But do you know what is more sweeter than that? More sweeter than that is the butter that is half eaten by Lord Shri Krishna and was being shared to his friends, Sudama and everybody else around him, all the Gopas. Would you want to be one of them as well and taste something which is much sweeter than what you are getting here? Think about it, how it would have smelled. The moment you say, think about it, how it was smelling, you have focused towards the Lord again. What happened to this kitchen? It's gone. So very sense that is getting you distracted, have a mechanism in the mind that it instructs those senses to focus on Lord and the stories of the Lord. Connect it with Lord one way or the other, and then come back to the thoughts of Lord Shri Krishna. That itself is the ultimate meditation. And when you do this, you get the joy. The joy that cannot be explained. If somebody comes back and out of meditation and says, how was it? You should never be able to say, I was perfectly fine. It was amazing experience. You know what? The heartbeat was almost around, it was around 90s and 60s and 70s, very normal and healthy heartbeat. And I could sense that. I was looking at the monitors as well, no alarms, nothing. My blood pressure was pretty normal. My sugar levels gone. No. This is not meditation. We are observing on what is happening, then we are missing the joy. So they cannot happen together. In joy, you don't get to know about anything else other than living in that joy. Such should be the experience. And in such an experience, obviously, there cannot be any pain. Dukkha, right? Dukkha means the killing of, or the avoiding or reduction of pain and sorrows. Now, here 2021, yatra uparamate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya, yatra chaiva atmanatmanam pashyan atmani tushyati. Here, yatra uparamate chittam, like in this mode of joy, when uparamate means rejoicing, enjoying, right? Dwelling in that excitement and feeling. So, yatra uparamate chittam, as the mind starts enjoying and acquainted towards this joy, which is giving it nice, nice feel, because you don't have any other things to worry about. In such a state, the chitta, the mind here, again, when we say buddhi, chitta, manaha, all are same. We discussed about it based on their role. So when I use the word chitta, you should say it is mind filled with experiences. Mind in relation to its experiences from the past. That is chitta. Mind in association with knowledge, taking rightful decisions, is buddhi. Mind in its thoughts, reveling in the situations, creating emotions, is the pure mind, right? And then the mind that thinks there is no other entity other than God, not focusing on the very presence of Lord's shine in us, and thinking everything is being done by this physical body, is ahankara. Everything is mind, right? So here, chitta, the mind filled with experiences, when it starts rejoicing the very joy of meditation, niruddham yoga sevaya, niruddham, avoiding all the distractions, and yoga sevaya, being in the state of yoga, being in the state of yoga in the sense, unified with the ultimate spirit, right? Yatra, there, yatra chaiva atmanatmanam pashyan. Pashyan, seeing. What sees whom? The mind sees the soul clearly. You know, when there is water filled with mud, what is, do you know what are various ways of cleaning water? One of the ways is called a sedimentation, is a process. Can anyone tell me what is sedimentation in chemistry? It has to deal with like cleaning of water. It's a process to clean water temperature. What is that? Sedimentation is a process. Yeah. How many of you know what is alum? ALUM? No? So there is a material called as alum. When you put alum in water filled with dirt, what it will do essentially is it will bring all the dirt down and then get it settled down at the bottom. It will make the dirt much more heavier so that it comes down and settles down at the bottom. And then you will see the entire water getting clean. You can see the water, it was dirty earlier. The moment you put alum in it, all the dirt settles down and the water becomes clear, isn't it? So likewise, in this world of completely distracted thought process, it is kind of difficult to ascertain that we have the Lord's presence and shine in us. To come out of that situation, we need to use something like alum. Here, alum is, you can consider that as the thoughts of Lord, the stories of Lord, the songs of Lord, right? All of this, or the picture of Lord, all of this that connects you to the Lord is the alum. The moment you start thinking about it, all the distractions automatically settle down. And in that clear state, you can see that, oh my God, the Lord that you are seeing outside is also there inside. That whole essence of Ishvara, which is helping others, supporting everyone, being honest, being good all the time, staying happy all the time, and the sense of joy, what you're experiencing is no different from the Lord Himself. So then you will be able to realize the manaha will then say, oh my God, since every other distraction is settled down, I can see the Lord's presence so clearly in myself now today, at this moment. That situation where Atma Atmanam Pashyati, which means my mind is able to see the ultimate Atma, which is the soul, right, inside me very clearly. And with that vision that I am getting, I get tushyati, atmani tushyati. The mind feels satisfied. Up until that, it has been constantly looking for happiness. Is happiness there in gulab jamun? Is happiness there in kala jamun? Is happiness there in a beautiful song? Is happiness there in that touch? Is happiness there in something, 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 something? It has been constantly watching and searching for it. But the moment in meditative spirit, it sees the soul inside, looks at it and connects. Oh my God, I've been meditating upon Lord. That itself is this. At that point in time, the joy that is experienced by mind, it gives the mind ultimate satisfaction. Atmani tushyati. Right? So, and then he says, Sukham atyantikam yattat buddhi grahyam atindriyam. So, in this ecstatic happiness, Sukham atyantikam, ultimate and superior most happiness that this mind is experiencing, in that, when the buddhi, the deterministic capacity of the mind, through the use of relevant knowledge, the supreme knowledge, right? When mind under the influence of this, which is actually taking decision making capacity, when it overshoots all the senses. What does overshoots all the senses? Here it is mentioned, the word is ati indriyam. Ati indriyam means above the senses. What do you mean by above the senses? Think about it. It's a very poetic way of telling that when you are above the senses, what happens? You are able to see the senses, isn't it? When you are above the house, you will be able to see the house, how it is. Oh, looks like there is a crack there. I have to fix it. When you are above the earth, you will see, oh my God, vegetation. 20 years back, there were trees here. Now there are no trees in this part of the globe. The water levels are rising. All these things you'll be able to observe if you are higher than senses is when you will be able to watch your senses. Assess your senses. Is it doing good? Not doing good? And all that information you'll be able to process if you're above the senses. So buddhi, the deterministic capacity of the mind using the knowledge, when it shoots above the senses, that means when it is able to see the senses through meditation. In your meditation, you would be able to see what your eyes want to do, what your ears want to do, what your nose want to do, what your skin wants to do, what your karmendriyas, what your gyanendriyas, all 5 organs of action and all 5 organs of sense, pure sense, what they are willing to do, we will be able to observe that. And at that point in time, Veti yatra na chaiva ayam sthitas chalati tatvatah. It says, Sukham atyantikam yattat buddhigrahyam atindriyam, Veti yatra na cha eva ayam sthitas chalati tatvatah. Knowing that, knowing what is going on in the senses, this buddhi now, which is completely focused on Lord, will not move anywhere other than the supreme truth. Where the supreme truth is, where is it? It is in Bhagavad Gita. It constantly reflects upon Bhagavad Gita, connects itself to the Lord, looks at the senses, how they are getting distracted, but yet, sthitah chalati na cha eva ayam. Which means what? The movements, the deviations from the ultimate truth does not happen for such a mind and the buddhi that is constantly focused in meditation. So one of the uses of meditation, one of the effects of meditation is that one will have complete faith in the scriptural studies that they are following and reading. So meditation in a way helps in cutting down all the distractions, looking through all the deviations that are coming, but still connect yourself strongly to the solid supreme truth and never deviate from that. That is the essence of meditation as well. Now let's move on to 22. Okay, Anshu, can you repeat after me now? Yam labdhva cha param labha.
Yam labdhva cha param labham.
Manyate nadhikam tatah.
Manyate nadhikam tatah.
Yasmin sthito na dukkhena.
Yasmin sthito na dukkhena.
Gurunapi vichalyate.
Gurunapi vichalyate.
Malli. Yam labdva cha param labham.
Yam labdva cha param labham.
Manyate nadhikam tatah.
Manyate nadikam tataha.
Yasmin sthito na dukkhena.
Yasmin sthito na dukkena.
Gurunapi vichalyate.
Gurunapi vichalyate.
Krishna, can we do the full lines? Good morning. Krishna, you there?
Yes, sir. So which sloka are we in? On 6th?
We are on 22, chapter 6, 22.
Okay, okay.
Let me know when you open it.
Yeah, one more.
Ranvitali, you have to leave now. It's 9:01.
No, uncle, in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Almost there. 1 moment.
You ready, Krishna?
One moment. I'm almost there.
Yeah.
20 to 23 is there. Okay.
22.
Okay. Yeah, I have it.
Yam labdva cha param labham manyate nadhikam tatah.
Yam ladbha cha param labham manyate nadikam tataha.
Yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate.
Yasmin stito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate.
Yam labdva cha aparam labham. Now you have seeked something. In the meditative process, you are seeking the ultimate happiness, which is good. Now, after this, what happens? After seeking the ultimate happiness, what do you want to do? Now, what you have to do, you will constantly be shown other benefits, other happiness that are materialistic. For example, in life, a person who is meditating and enjoying the presence of happiness and satisfaction in the mind, such a person, when he goes into this world again, he or she will be provided with materialistic benefits as well, right? Sometimes money, sometimes fame, sometimes something else. Now, all of those benefits seem na manyate, very little, na adhikam manyate. They do not consider that any higher than, oh my God, is this? Somebody praises, oh, you are so good, you have done such a beautiful job. He says, what is this? Yes, I understand, I get some excitement of what you are saying, but it is very less as compared to what I felt this morning when I was in meditation. I cannot consider this any way equivalent to what I usually feel. So here, yam labdva cha aparam labham, anything that you receive from the materialistic world, which is any other kind of labha, success, or any other appreciation, any other benefit that you get from this external world, manyate na adhikam tatah. They do not consider it as any higher than the supreme joy. Yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. Gurunaha means the ultimate, the most dreadful, the highest of what? Dukkhena. Highest of problems in such a man's life will not make him struggle or move, will not affect him. Vichalyate is affecting. Such a person will not be affected with any kind of destruction, any kind of sorrow, any kind of sad events, any kind of failures will not affect such a person. That is another advantage of meditation. When we are doing meditation in the right way as prescribed in the scriptures, the only way to test ourselves is when something happens in our life which is not as per our expectation, which is a failure statement in life, how am I responding to that? If I'm responding with an agitated mind to it, that means my meditation is not the right way of meditating. Because for such a person who is meditating, Bhagavan clearly says that dukkham na vichalya, anything, and gurunapi, the highest of the problems will also not move him out of his stability. Such will be the effect of it. 23. Pranavitali will chant 23 and then probably it will be time for you, right? So let's see 23 and chant. Tam vidya dukkha samyoga.
Tam vidya dukkha samyoga.
Viyogam yoga sanyitam.
Viyogam yoga samnitam.
Sanishchayena yoktavyaha.
Sanishchayena yoktavya.
Yogo nirvinna chetasah.
Yogo nirvinna chetasaha.
Chetasam. Again. Tam vidya dukkha samyoga.
Tam vidya dukkha samyoga.
Viyogam yoga sangitam.
Viyogam yoga samnitam.
Sanishchayena yoktavyaha.
Sanishchayena yoktavyaha.
Yogo nirvinna chetasa.
Yogo nirvinna chetasa.
Let's do the full line, Tali. Tam vidya dukkha samyoga. Viyogam yoga sangitam.
Tam vidya dukkha samyoga. Viyogam yoga samnitam.
Sanishchayena yoktavyaha. Yogo nirvinna chetasa.
Sanishchayena yoktavyaha. Yogo nirvinna chetasa.
It is okay to get away from all the dukkhas. Very good. Bhagavan has given this beautiful gift due to meditation, which is fine. Now, tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam. Dukkha samyogam viyogam. Beautiful poetry, actually. Such a beautiful poetry. Dukkha samyogam is merger with the misery, merger with pain. How we merge, unify with pain. It means living in the sadness, living in the sorrow. That is dukkha samyogam. Viyogam is leaving it out. Disassociating with that. So the merger with Bhagavan is so beautifully explaining. You cannot avoid dukkha. The only thing you can avoid is dukkha samyogam, that you can avoid. Dukkha you cannot avoid. Dukkha samyoga viyoga. Detachment from the association with dukkha will be attained. Tam vidya, knowing that the ability to get dissociated from the strongest associations that we carry with dukkha, in that spirit, such a person, yoga sangitam, such a disassociation, sangitam means is called as what? Yoga. So when somebody says what is yoga, the another definition of yoga Bhagavan here he has given is ability to disassociate it from the associations with pain and sorrow. That is yoga, right? Tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyoga yoga sangitam sa nishchayena yoktavyaha yogo a nirvinna chetasa. That is a. There is a small s in Sanskrit when you write it. It is like yogo anirvinna chetasa. You don't pronounce a, but then it's subtle. Bye, Tali. Take care. So, sa nishchayena, Bhagavan, one thing he has said is, now cut down all your senses. Don't get through distractions. Raise above your senses. Look at the senses. Focus on to me back, right? Now, Bhagavan is saying what you must do when there is no dukkha, association with dukkha. What you should do? Sa nishchayena yoktavyaha. Nishchayena means it is a deterministic. You have to be strongly determined. It is not easy, but you have to determine. What you have to be determined? Your mind has to determine. What? It has to determine that yoktavyaha yogo, which means it has to be yukta. We discussed the meaning of yukta, right? Yukta is nothing but what? All the control on the senses. This is not easy. So you have to have a strong determination to do that, right? That strong determination, if it is not there, we'll not be able to control our senses. So with determination only, with a strong determination only, we can control the senses, right? And such a controlled way of dealing with senses, when you do it in a very, very resolute way, strong, resolute way, what will happen is you are said to be in yoga. That means you are away from the association with pain, and in such a state, a nirvinna chetasa, which will lead to the chetasa, the experiences that you are gaining, right? That will not deviate you from your goal. Nirvinna means getting distracted. Anirvinna means never getting distracted. The mind, the mind which is carrying this experience will not be distracted because of the experiences. Right? Suppose if I'm getting happy, oh, I'm getting happy today, let me enjoy today. Today is not the time to go back to Bhagavad Gita. That's fine. Today is the day for enjoyment. Let's do it. No, that kind of a feel you will not get if you are doing meditation in the right way. You'll be very, very disciplined in life. So another advantage of using meditation is you become disciplined. Very strong in terms of determination. Such a person who is meditating, if he or she thinks that this must be done, it will be done. If he or she thinks this should not be done, he will never do it. So such will be the determination, power, and discipline in life for a person who is constantly meditating and in the process of meditating. Right? So these are the advantages of meditation that Bhagavan is providing here. Now, isn't these the main issues in today's world? Not being disciplined, not being determined, fickle-minded. Sometimes you say something, sometimes you say opposite of it. Sometimes you do something, sometimes you exactly do the opposite. Sometimes your opinion is X, and the very next day it is opposite of that X on any given matter. This change happens because there is no proper discipline in life. And because there is no discipline and determination, you end up into pain. And once you get the pain, you live in that pain for years and years and years. You don't know how to come out of it. Well, Bhagavan has given a very simple secret. Meditate upon me, right? And how to meditate is there are a lot many verses in this chapter where he will discuss how to meditate, right? We will see those. So now, since we know the benefits of meditation, let's go to 24 and see how Paramatma wants us to proceed. 24th. Anshu, will you be repeating me after me, Nana? We'll do 24 and 25. Let's see if we can do 25 as well. Both are together. We have to do 24 and 25 together.
Okay.
Sankalpa prabhavan kaman.
Sankalpa prabhavan kaman.
Tyaktva sarvana sheshataha.
Tyaktva sarvana sheshataha.
Manasaivendriyagramam.
Manasaivedriyagramam.
Viniyamya samantataha.
Viniyamya samantataha.
Sankalpa prabhavan kaman.
Sankalpa prabhavan kaman.
Tyaktva sarvana sheshataha.
Tyaktva sarvana sheshataha.
Manasaivendriyagramam.
Manasaivedriyagramam.
Viniyamya samantataha.
Viniyamya samantataha.
We'll do. Shanai shanairuparamate. Shanai shanairuparamate.
Shanai shanairuparamit.
Buddhya dhruti gruhitaya.
Buddhya dhriti grihitaya.
Shanai shanairuparamate.
Shanai shanairuparamit.
Buddhya dhruti gruhitaya.
Buddhya dhriti grihitaya.
Atma samstham manah krutva.
Atma samstam manakritva.
Na kinchidapi chintayet.
Na kinchidapi chintayet.
Krishna, can we try doing the full lines for both 24-25?
Yes.
Sankalpa prabhavan kamam tyaktva sarvana sheshataha.
Sankalpa prabhavan kaman nyatva sarvana sheshataha.
Manasaivendrajagramam viniyamya samantataha.
Manasaivendriya gramam viniyamya samantataha.
Shanai shanairuparame buddhya dhruti gruhitaya.
Shanai shanairuparamit buddhya dhruti gruhitaya.
Atma samstham manah krutva na kinchidapi chintayet.
Atma samstam manah krutva na kinchidapi chintayet.
Right. Again. Sankalpa prabhavan kamam tyaktva sarvan asheshataha. Asheshataha means there is no ending. Ending to what? Ending to sankalpa. Sankalpa prabhavan kaman. The thoughts arising out of desire. Sankalpa, the thoughts. Prabhava means out of, born out of. The thoughts born out of kama, desires. Very much, everybody will have something or the other. Whether they have it knowingly or in subconscious mind, there will always be certain desires that they would like to enjoy and get entertained into. Out of those will the thoughts arise. Such thoughts will not be one or two. Asheshataha. Sarvan asheshataha. There are many such and they are endless thoughts. Such thoughts tyaktva. Disown. Disowning such thoughts arising out of the desire. Now this is a practice. It is not easy to first of all cut down our distractions. He has given a secret how to connect back to Lord to cut down these distractions, right? So to cut down that, what you have to do? Manasa eva indriya gramam viniyamya samantataha. Controlling what? How to avoid this distraction? The only way to avoid the distractions is control the mind. Viniyamya. Niyamya means discipline it. What you are disciplining here? We are disciplining our mind and indriya gramam. Indriya gramam is 5 jnanendriyas and 5 karmendriyas. All 10 indriyas. Control them together. Even one you leave, it will distract you. So see how difficult is that process. Difficult because you have to hold on to multiple things and then say controlling. Right. So obviously, when you have like a class with one child in the class, it's easy to communicate, instruct, and assess and all that. But if you have 40 children in the class, how difficult is the role of the teacher there? Isn't it? Similarly, here it is not one or two. Manaha itself is such a big monkey, and then you have indriyas. You have 5 sense organs and 5 organs of action. All of these are distracting in their own way, and they are getting into thoughts that are born out of desires, which again has to be controlled. So how do you do that? The only way the distractions can be controlled is by focusing ourselves into something completely different. Here there is the classroom concept. Here what I discussed is you have 40 children. To focus on each individual 40 children, every moment, teacher will be distracted. At the end of the class, when the bell rings, she will recollect that she has been spending the whole time taking care of the class and had not taught anything that day. So such will be our experience also if we only focus on controlling, right? So let's say, for example, suppose I get my nose getting distracted, eyes getting distracted, and I only focus on that and try to bring them back together all the time. If I focus more on these distractions, it is not possible for me, because at the end of the meditation, I will remember only that I've been dealing with these distractions, nothing else. That is my experience. But Bhagavan is saying not like that. Bhagavan is saying do something different. What he is saying in the next words, he is giving us how to control and then bring everything to stability. How it is not happening in like one single shot. If you think there is a magic that can be done, switch, just click a button and then it should all be done. It is not that easy. It will not happen easily, for sure. It is, it's already mentioned. It will happen in phase by phase. First day you may not be able to do that. But if you are determined, if you are deterministic, if you are disciplined, then you are going to come and sit in the meditation every day. First day you may not realize anything. Second day you may not realize anything. Third day you may not, but you are strongly coming again and again. Why? Because your guru has instructed. You will do whatever your guru has said. So you come back. When you do that, shanaihi, slowly and steadily, at certain time in future. But until then, slowly and steadily. Shanaihi means slowly and steadily. Uparamed buddhya. The rejoicing of mind will happen over a period of time. It will be slowly, but surely. See that assurance we should have. We should have that assurance. When Bhagavan is saying something, we should have ultimate shraddha to, yes, Bhagavan has said this will happen, but it will not happen on day one. So when something doesn't happen on day one, don't get disappointed. Because Bhagavan himself has said it will happen, not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe day after, but it will happen. Don't worry about that. Just keep practicing. Keep practicing the meditation. This is for those who easily give up. They do for 2 days, 3 days. It is not working, sir. All that is like nonsense. I don't understand why people write all those things, all these techniques and all. It's all nonsense. Just leave it. Let's not do it. For those, this verse is very important. Shanaihi uparamed buddhya dhruti gruhite. Dhruti is strong determination. Only, and that determination is also not there on day one. That determination also comes slowly and steadily. Slowly and steadily, buddhi becomes determined. If we constantly come and do it at a particular way in a disciplined fashion, we challenge ourselves, come back, sit there, do it, over and over again. At some point in time, the buddhi becomes highly determined. And in that deterministic mind, it takes right decisions. And in those decisions, what happens? Atma samstham manah kritva. It focuses on Atma. Here, Atma means not my mind. It is Atma means Bhagavan. It focuses on the Lord. With that strong determination, when kids are going all over the place, it says, focus on the board. Hey, class, focus on the board. He will not go to individual students. He will say, everybody, manaha indriya gramam, focus on the board. That power, who gives that power to the buddhi? The discipline itself. So everything starts with discipline. The person who is highly disciplined is highly intellectual and highly deterministic. Such a person can take any decisions in the right way and stick to it, not deviating from it. With such a deterministic mind, when somebody says focus on to Lord, then it happens. So such deterministic mind, Atma samstham. Stha means stationed. Stationed in Paramatma. stationed in the Atman, the mind is now seated like a good student and focusing on to the Lord, right? And in such a state, na kinchid api chintayet. In such a state, the mind will not have any worries. That is exactly when it does not bother about the sadness and sorrow that came yesterday from an event where it did not enjoy it much. That is where the dukkha samyoga viyoga happens. It does not happen on day one, for sure. It happens over a period of time. How? How the buddhi becomes determined. Determined on what? Determined to focus on Paramatma. Unless that happens, nothing will happen. So controlling is not the focus that we should have. We should have focus on going and sitting in a disciplined way and focusing on Lord every time. We get deviated from Lord, come back to the Lord. Deviated, come back to the Lord. Coming back to Lord should be the focus, not on the distractions. Put more attention on the distractions, you will lose that you have to focus on the Lord. That is very important factor in meditation. What must be done is important than what must not be done. So that weightage, if we can give, one can become a great meditator. That's why people who are very good in like arrows and shooting, right? They only see where they have to shoot. They don't see all the areas where they do not have to shoot. They look at that point where they have to shoot, and obviously it will land there, mostly, high probability. The moment they look at all the distractions here and there, the ability to take that arrow to the target spot will be lost, isn't it? So the same way, if we focus more, knowing that there will be distractions and ignoring that is good. But the ultimate thing here is to focus on the Lord. Atma samstham. That is very, very important. Once that happens, then the dukkha samyoga viyoga also happens at the same time. But it will not happen on day one. It will not happen immediately. We see it in the meditative pose. It will happen shanaihi uparamed buddhya. Slowly and steadily it will. For that, we have to have patience. All right. So let's stop here. And these are all the techniques, tips that Bhagavan is giving for a person who really wants to meditate. Why he wants to meditate? Because he experiences Lord during meditation. That's it. No other reason. All right. So let's close our session today here with closing prayers, seeking everyone's happiness, and then continue with the next. From 26 onwards, we'll continue the next session. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Mritam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om. You all have a good rest of the week. We'll catch up again next Saturday. Till then, stay healthy, stay safe. Jai Shri Krishna.
Yes,